One of the challenges that I face today with my job, and it's not a big thing, it's just something that I become aware of and make sure that I figure out how this truth, it's just, it's a factual truth, so you figure out how to work with it, is that, 9 out of 10 shows, big shows, the UFC, truthfully, and one championship, like big shows, global shows, truly believe that most fighters can just do commentary. Now, why is that so? Because the box of their expectation is very, very low. So the fighters not all, but a lot of them do commentary the same way. The people who hire them, and even the audience, and even the people who sort of comment on Twitter, think that box is the way. That is how you do commentary. Most of it is really fairly just imitating Joe Rogan. And if you go far enough back, what's happening is commentary was boring and repetitive. Just like Dan Rather on the news, everybody was imitating Dan Rather. Just like if you talk to any fucking NHL player, they'll say, well, you got to put a lot of pucks on the net and, there's no I in team. And they'll all talk the same. Commentary was that way. So Joe Rogan comes in. Joe is a comedian, a free thinker, sort of a wild idea guy with a lot of personality who's also a martial arts expert. So now you put Joe Rogan doing commentary, and it's fucking totally different. It's better, right? It's better because it's better. It's more fun. It's more interesting. It's got more personality. You connect to it. It's all of these things. So now you and I today can look at that and go, why was that better? Because it was different, one, and authentic, two. So, but what happened is, instead of people going, Joe Rogan is a martial arts expert, a comedian, a free thinker, all these things, so he's very different and he's being himself. Let's imitate him. That's the wrong response. The right response is, wait a second, let's be different and authentically ourselves too. The answer to seeing why is Joe Rogan so good at commentary is not, well, he's good, let's copy him. It's he's good because he's different. He's good because he didn't copy someone. He's good because he didn't do it inside the box. And yet, nobody saw that. Human beings have like mirror neurons. They're a part of us. They're why when we're kids, we see people use a knife and a fork and we can use a knife and a fork. It's why we all speak the same language. We're all around. We all hear each other talk. We imitate our parents. It's a part of our nervous system. It's called mirror neurons. Once upon a time, primates had a stick and they'd stick it down an ant hole. They'd pull it up and eat the ants. And all the other primates would look and go, shit, let's do that too. Right? So it's our natural tendency to imitate people. But so now they all kind of sound like Joe Rogan. I've been working with people at times where guys will go to the ground and they'll turn to me and they'll say the partner I'd be working with. And I would never want to try to denigrate somebody that I worked with because I've worked with great people. But I remember just one time this guy I was working with, he goes, so Robin, why don't you talk about how much harder it is right now to get a submission with the sweat on the body? And I'm thinking, why the fuck would I talk about that? That's a Joe Roganism. Yeah. They're of the 100,000 possible things we could discuss right now. The reason it was interesting when Joe brought up that idea once upon a time 8 years ago, that sweat and blood would make it harder to do a submission, was because we all went, holy shit, that's crazy. I would have never thought of that. You mean these guys, when they're sweaty, it's harder? Oh, wow, that's wild. Yeah. I never have to say that ever again. We all have heard that now. It's literally a waste of 2 sentences for me to say that. That is not the one thing we could discuss now. We could talk about anything. What's he thinking? What's he feeling? How did he learn this? What's happening in his body? What's happening in the hemoglobin in his fucking blood? What's his brain thinking? How did he, what's his emotion like right now? Can he breathe? Where are his hips? Why are his feet there? Should his feet be so? There's fucking 100 million things we could all talk about. The last thing, and yet, because Joe Rogan's so inspiring and compelling, and we have this natural desire to imitate because of our genetics and because of our nervous system. We just now do it. So now every fighter can sound like Joe Rogan from 2014 or 2015 because they've heard it a lot. The audience is quite used to it. The producers and the people that sort of hire these people, like, I found some kid, he's a 2-time UFC fighter from France. He says he wants to commentate. Let's hire him.